Okay, I thought it was odd I haven't actually done this fight before. So, Killer Croc, the Batman villain, versus the Lizard, which of course is the Spider-Man villain. So of course, Killer Croc, depending on how he's written, he's either a small dinosaur, a giant crocodile, or a man. Well, if you like the Batman the Animated Series, he has like just like bumpy skin and more reptilian sort of attributes to him. So there's a lot of interpretation to his character. Doc Connors, on the other hand, the Lizard, he's normally portrayed as a standard Jekyll and Hyde sort of character, where he's an incredibly intelligent man who lost his arm. So he develops a serum to try to help regrow his arm by using, of course, lizard DNA because their ability to regenerate. So he therefore transforms into the Lizard. So effectively the Jekyll to his Hyde. These two end up having a lot of characteristics in common. Still, they're both effectively reptilian human hybrids. One faces Batman, the other one, of course, is a villain of Spider-Man. The nice thing with Spider-Man villains is the majority end up being doctors who know Peter Parker. So Peter Parker knows the person, but Spider-Man knows the villain. Where with Killer Croc, in most Batman characters, Batman doesn't know a lot of the people behind the characters. It's not like Bruce Wayne's hanging out, with Joseph Kerr, and then it's like, oh, face paint on, time to put on the mask, and then they go and they do battle in the streets. So this one, you might notice it's a little bit different. I removed the interjection and versatility aspects and blended that back into X Factor because they're not known for energy-based attacks. So we'll try to go through this. Intelligence. Normally, the Lizard is written as just basic reptilian intelligence. However, currently he's closer to like the Professor Hulk sort of amalgamation, where he has some Doc Connors skill to him, and he can do some of the experiments Doc Connors would do, not in lizard form. Where Killer Croc is normally written as a very low intelligent individual. Something someone who's a scientist versus someone who's of low intelligence. So of course that means that it's going to come down to Lizard having a significant advantage. I would give Killer Croc the ability edge in fighting. Primarily because depending on how he's written, he is normally written as someone who spent his entire life fighting. So while the Lizard / Doc Connor spent lots of his formative years learning to become a fantastic scientist, Killer Croc's a flat-out scrapper. He's a brawler. And he actually holds his own fairly well against someone like Batman, who's significantly well-skilled. Where Lizard doesn't quite have the fighting skill level that what you see from someone like Killer Croc. I will come back to strength. Speed. Underwater, they're both incredibly quick. Above water, Killer Croc is someone who is... he's like that low-level metahuman. However, he has been written to the point that he can stop someone like Osiris, which is like a Black Adam. Like Black Adam lower tier. He also has shown that he was able to stop General Zod from killing somebody. Well, those are very few and in between sort of scenarios where Lizard is able to hold its own fairly well against Spider-Man. He's able to hit Spider-Man. He's able to keep move with Spider-Man. Spider-Man, of course, being something faster than Batman. Transitive property, Lizard would be faster than Killer Croc. Invulnerability. Both of them highly resistant to scrapes, abrasions, decently well against bludgeoning, slashing. But when it comes to how bulletproof they are, the Lizard is good against lower caliber weapons, where Killer Croc actually take a higher caliber round. So yes, Killer Croc did get his arm broken by Bane. That was more of a combination of strength and skill than a poor invulnerability showing when it comes to Killer Croc. So Killer Croc actually can take slightly more overall abuse. Durability. The Lizard in full lizard form actually has significantly higher regenerative abilities. That's why when he transforms, there's a whole arm that grows. Where from Killer Croc's standpoint, he's enhanced human. He recovers faster than a human. But he's not recovering at the same level as you see the Lizard. Now we're going to go back to strength. Like I mentioned before with speed, Killer Croc has been shown that he can hang with a few people. But he is commonly outclassed by lots of the lower level guys. I mean, Bane has defeated him. Normally Killer Croc is written at about a 2 to 10 ton. And Spider-Man at his lower level is written as a 25 ton. Yes, lower level Spider-Man is 25. If right, he's 20 from 75 depending of course upon writer. But lower level Spider-Man is about 25. Lizard holds his own against Spider-Man. Even if Spider-Man's holding back, sure, we can say Lizard's a 15 or to 20 ton. Where Killer Croc, 2, maybe 10, we'll say 5 to 10. Yes, he has had moments where he has done a good job against someone like Osiris. Or he's held his own against someone like Zod. When he held his own against Zod, he was actually fighting to protect somebody. So he actually put all of his motion and all of his power into it. Where we don't see him do that all the time. He wasn't as properly motivated more often than not when it comes to fully hit that level. And I don't picture him being able to keep that level long enough for someone like the Lizard. And finally, X Factor. Recently, the Lizard has been granted additional abilities. He has light mind control over reptiles. And the ability to make other humans more aggressive. So he's taken on a human-reptile hybrid. I'm pretty sure the light telepathic abilities he does possess will probably do a pretty easy number on Killer Croc. You know, Killer Croc he's above street lethal, but he still ends up being a lower tier Batman villain, taking on, you know, a middle tier Spider-Man villain. I think that Killer Croc, he might get in a couple of good shots here and there, but at the end of the day, Lizard takes him down.